Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here, Steve at that old Yorkshire geek. I keep forgetting to include my name, so I think it's about time you know who I am. So it's Steve from the old Yorkshire geek, and as you can see we're on the bridge of the Orville. Where are my stars? I don't know. I've pressed the button to have my stars on, but they're not there for some reason. So something has gone awry. Never mind, whatever. Right, so before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and drop a comment and all that cool stuff. And let's see if we can get the channel numbers up a bit. No, despite my, meagre efforts. By the way, let's have a bit of applause for Stargate yesterday. Reached its 25th anniversary of SG1, Stargate SG1. So happy birthday Stargate yesterday. If you go to SciTrek, they did a video there which I appeared on, and so you can watch that, and that's all good fun. So happy birthday Star Trek. Right, so let's get on with this episode. It is season 3, episode 9, Domino. So I'll see if this is oh, I know why my stars didn't work. Are you ready? I bet they're on now. Hang on, where are we? Because I did a boo-boo. Right, anyway, so we'll try again. Right. Off we go. Season 3, episode 9, Domino. And we open up. There we go. Over the planet Krill. And it's raining and it's all dark and moody. A bit Blade Runner-y. We've been there before. And we see the Chancellor of Krill, whose name I still can't remember. And I'm looking at it. Is it Asaya? Is she called Asaya? I can't actually remember. I can't actually. She's the mother of Ed's daughter, who we met a few episodes ago, and she's obviously not a nice person. Anyway, so they're having a meeting. Where are we? There we go. So they're having a meeting. Oop, what happened then? Something go doolally then. Somebody's arrived to see to them, and they say it's the Moclan delegation. Remember the Moclans? Oh, there she is. Remember the Moclans got booted out of the Planetary Union in the last episode, so they haven't wasted any time, and they're going cozying up to the Krill. There we go. There's the Moclan delegation, and they say, we were the primary weapons or armaments manufacturer for the Planetary Union, and so they're offering the services to the Krill, but they want a partnership, but they want to be in charge because they don't want a female in charge because Asaya, or whatever the hell her name is a female, but she's obviously not receptive to that, so she tells them it'll be a joint, equal partnership, and they say fair enough, whatever. Right, so then we get to the credits. In a minute, because they're all saying, they're all being all belligerent with each other, even though they're allies. There we go. There's remember that name. Remember that name. Why has that gone over there? Why has that gone over there? Is it because I've done this? Hang on, let's put it back. Oh, I'm making a mess of this, aren't I? There we go. So remember Ann Winters as Ensign Charlie Burke. I'll not spoil what's going to happen later on, but get your hankies ready. There we go. There's the episode title, Domino. There we go. There it is. And Domino refers to the domino effect. When you push over, you put a row of dominoes and then you push one over, and they all fall down. This is what it's about. The Moclan being booted out of the Planetary Union, going cozying up to the Krill, the Kalon taking advantage of this, uncertainty in that part of the galaxy and all that. Right, so anyway, so we open up. This is the planet Zelaya. We were told before on Krill that the Krill intelligence had learned that the Kalon were amassing a fleet, and they were probably going to attack. There were 2 planets they mentioned. I can't remember one of them, but the other was Zelaya, which is the home of Lieutenant Commander Talakiali, the super strong people. And there it is, very lovely planet with rings. Anyway, you see there's a big fleet there of Union ships, and they're getting ready. Oh, they've got this device here, this new device that we haven't seen before. And I'm thinking, oh, what's this going to do? And then a Kalon fleet drops out of Quantum and starts shooting. Surrounds them. The fleet surrounds them, and the big battle ensues. Anyway, they've got this device, and Ed says initiate. And hang on, they always go too far, don't they? He says initiate, and I've gone too far as usual. Anyway, it sends out this wave, like a pulse wave. Here we go. I'm going to see it now. No, we're not. We're still bloody missed it. Oh, God, blimey. Oh, there. See, I've still gone too far. Here we go. Right, and it says initiate. And, in a minute, probably going to get a copyright strike. Remember, see, all these ships are defending the Orville. The Orville's in the middle. And so there we go. It says initiate, and they start up this device. There we go. The pulse wave comes out and immediately destroys all the Kalon ships. I think there were 42 altogether. Kalon ships that had come to attack Zelaya. There we go. So I nearly said Federation then. The Union has this amazing weapon that can destroy Kalon ships. Leaves other ships unharmed because it targets the Kalon. Done it, in conjunction with Isaac, and it attacks the Kalon. All the Kalon are connected, like a subspace connection. It's a bit like the Borg, innit? And they've targeted that, and they've used it, to destroy him. Don't ask me how. It's science. What's the phrase? Technobabble. It's technobabble, isn't it? So they've got this amazing weapon that can destroy the Kalon. And I at first thought that were going to be a simulation, but it were real. It were a real battle. Anyway, so they go back to Earth. They spend a lot of time on Earth in this episode. So they're in a big meeting with all the admirals. As Isaac and Charlie, they work together to make this device. See, she still hates the Kalon, but she doesn't hate Isaac anymore. Obviously, Timmins as well, which we saw an episode or two ago. Anyway, we see all these other admirals. There's Ted Danson. I can't remember his name either. Name of his character. But he plays a role later on. But we see he's quite aggressive. He wants to use this weapon to destroy all the Kalon. And Ed's not happy about that. He says, well, that's genocide. That's not what we stand for. And they're saying, well, they're insistent on destroying us. We've got to destroy them before they get the chance. And the Kelly Who Admiral, that's me her name either, she agrees. She wants to destroy all the Kalon. Anyway, they've got to put it before the council, and the Union Council, they decide to do a compromise, and they're going to send the Orville to the Kalon homeworld and offer an ultimatum. Either not surrender, but stop your attacks, stand down, or we'll destroy you. So that's what they're going to do. In here, they're in the mess hall, and John Lamar, he's not happy with destroying all the Kalon. Charlie and Gordon, they don't mind. They want to destroy all the Kalon. They just see him. They don't see him as people. They just see him as machines that need to be switched off. I suppose, even though she's recognised that the Kalon can change, because she's seen Isaac change, she's seen Timmins change, but she's still not averse to the idea of wiping them all out. And John Lamar, he's not happy about that, so he storms off in a huff. Here we go. That's them talking about the compromise, whether to go to Kalon. And the Admiral goes with them, Victor Garber, Admiral, is it Halsey? Admiral Halsey. He goes with them, so they go to Kalon. Yeah, they've arrived at Kalon. They've been met, obviously, by some Kalon ships, and they offer their ultimatum. And Admiral Halsey says he wants to talk to the Kalon Prime, or Kalon Primary, which is the leader of Kalon, I suppose you could say. So they agree to that. So they go down to the planet. Right. Oh, yes. By the way, they do a demonstration because they open fire to the Kalon, and so they use the device to destroy the Kalon ships that they encounter. By the way, the first time they used it, they destroyed all the Kalon ships up to a distance of 10 million kilometres. But in this time, they're using it here now. Obviously, they're not using it to that distance, but it's still effective. Maybe it recharges more quickly when they just destroy them in closer range. I don't know. That's just my head canon. So here we go. So they get around there. This is where they do their ultimatum again. So they get escorted down to the planet surface. There's Admiral Halsey meeting with Kalon Primary, and he's telling them, to stand down. And they say, well, you want to conquer us? And say, no, we just want you to stand down, and we want to start peace negotiations. So that's what they do. They agree, but they say they're going to find, every weapon has a weakness, and they will find it. So it's not an end to hostilities. It's just a ceasefire. Right, so we go, then they're sort of celebrating back on Earth now. So they've gone back to Earth, so they're going backwards and forwards. And guess what? They're singing again. It's just almost every episode of this season, they've got somebody singing. And it's Gordon and Charlie this time. They're singing a song. I don't know why. That's it. Next episode is the last episode, and we've got to have Seth singing in it. Everybody else has had a go nearly. They're singing. It goes on far too long. I mean, I do like music and singing, but but not in me sci-fi. Anyway, Ed tells them they should all be proud what they've done. It's a new era. It could be one of the most important things that's happened for in their lifetime. Bortas is struggling using a nutcracker on some walnuts, and Tala does it easily for him, which doesn't impress Clyden. I've got a feeling these two are going to break up, and he's going to get together with Tala. It's on the cards. Look at eyes, daggers. Right, so they're on this little bridge. Is it a Pooh bridge? That's what I'd call it. From Winnie the Pooh. I know it's not. And they're looking up at the aurora. There's some aurora going on. I'll probably not be able to find an image of it, because you know what I'm like. See, there we go. The aurora. And Isaac explains what it is. It's particles from the sun interacting with the upper atmosphere. Blah blah blah. So he says, point out the Big Dipper. And so he says, oh yes, the Big Dipper's an asterism, blah blah blah. And he see, I've gone too far again. There we go. He uses his laser pointer and draws it out in the sky. I don't know how that happened, but that's what he did. There we go. Draws it out in the sky. I don't know how he's doing that. Because I was thinking, are they in the simulator here? But apparently they're not. They're in a cabin on Earth. Don't know whose cabin it is, but maybe it mentioned it, maybe it didn't. Charlie's looking a bit depressed. She's having a drink. Ed I know he's Seth, but Ed comes out and he says, there's got to hope it all works out, basically. She doesn't trust the Kalon. He says, well, he don't either, but we don't kill unless we have to. Right. Oh, this chap. Right. So this fella makes his way to where they're holding the device on Earth. Don't know why they didn't leave it on the Orville, but it's somewhere on Earth in a secure location, and this officer comes down and says it's got to be, moved. He's got orders to transfer it somewhere else, and the people there don't know what he's on about, so they shoot him. I don't know if they kill him or not. I think they might just stun him. And at first I thought, is this is either a Kalon or a Krill or a Moclan in one of those, like hologram suit things, they can change the form, but they're not. They're actual Union officers, and she's helping him. So they steal this the device, and they get it on the shuttle, and they head out, and it heads off into we're going to see it in a minute. No, never mind. And it goes into quantum, and it's gone. And then what happens? Then it shows they're back in the cabin. Kelly and Claire are watching the sunrise. Ed's still asleep. Most of the others are still asleep, but they're up early watching the sun and nursing hangovers. So I think they need synthahol, don't they? That's what they had in Star Trek. They had synthahol, which it could still get you drunk, but the effects could be easily dismissed, apparently. But no, they just got drunk. Right, the shuttle drops out of quantum and arrives at there's a Krill ship and a Moclan ship, and we see that. Anyway, she's there. We see it's Ted Danson, Admiral. It's him who stole the device because he wants to destroy the Kalon, so he's committing treason, and he knows it, and he's going to turn. He says he's going to turn himself in when he gets back to Earth. But as we see, he don't get that far, so he heads back, and she says to the Moclans, say, well, when he gets back to Earth, he'll tell the Union about the Moclan Krill alliance, and she says, well, they're not ready for that, so she has his ship destroyed. But obviously, me being useless. We're going to see it. And pew, pew. A good shot, wasn't it? One shot blew it up. So Ted Danson's dead. Not the character is dead. The Admiral is dead. So they found out who took it, because the Admiral, obviously this Admiral's missing, and it's his authorisations and stuff for all this stuff that's gone on, so he's the prime suspect of stealing the device. So they head out in the direction that the shuttle went, and they find that there's both Krill and Moclan energy signatures there, so they put two and two together and work out that the Krill and Moclan are working together. Bortas says, well, if they've got the device, they take it to this Moclan scientist who's a genius, and he's on where is he now? I can't remember. He's on a planet, some other planet, because he has a facility there, so that's where they decide to go. So there we go. They're now there. They hide behind the moon of this planet. And there's a huge fleet there of Krill and Moclan ships guarding the facility. So what they decide to do, they're going to send a team down on a shuttle, a cloaked shuttle, to retrieve the device. But Ed says they need backup, so they get a fleet of Union ships come, but he goes to Kalon and gets the Kalon to work with them. So this is the start of an alliance with the Kalon, the enemy of my enemy and all that. Here we go. This is them talking, to Kalon Primary, saying that the Krill and Moclans have stolen the device and they mean to destroy the Kalon. So if they don't team up with the Union, they'll be destroyed. So they agree to that. So here we go. So that's the fleet amassing. By the way, this is another long episode I forgot to mention. Hour and 18 minutes. So it's another nearly feature-length episode. I think if something's over, is it over 70 minutes or 75 minutes, it's classed as a feature length. It could be classed as a movie. So this is 78 minutes in length. Last week's was just under 90 minutes, wasn't it? So they're taking advantage of the long formats being on Hulu and Disney Plus. Anyway, so the Kalon arriving on the Orville, Kalon Primary arrives, and they discuss their plan. They found out where the device is. It's 500 meters below the surface or whatever, and they have to go in with a team that's gonna recover the device, but they need a distraction. So that's where the fleet's gonna engage the Krill Moclan fleet in orbit. Who's this singing? There we go. Anyway, so all this up. So pew pews happen, big fighty stuff. The shuttle disembarks with its team. It's going to be Isaac, Charlie, Kelly, and Kalon Primary says he wants to go to keep an eye on Isaac for some reason. So they're going to go. They're cloaked, but they're going to still get support from the Pterodon fighters. If they're cloaked, I don't know why they need support. Cover by them, because they're cloaked. You can't see them, but never mind. So the squadron of these Pterodon fighters, first time we see them, in battle, they escort the cloaked shuttle down, baffling. Obviously Gordon's in one of the ships. This is a Moclan in his fighter. So obviously Krill and Moclan fighters engage them. Let's say a big dog fight happens. By the way, about what we saw there, I better miss him. Oh, never mind. For some reason, John Lamar's in one of the fighters. I've no idea why. He's the chief engineer of the Orville. Why is he in a fighter? No idea. I mean, he hasn't really been renowned as a pilot, has he? It's Gordon that's the pilot. When we first saw John, I think he was like the navigator or whatever. He wasn't really a pilot. Then he became chief engineer. Right, so the shuttle still gets damaged, and they can't land, so they decide to bail out. They use they don't have parachutes, they have jetpacks and stuff, but they all put on these cool looking suits and they bail out. There we go. After that shuttle's destroyed, so they head down to the facility. Tala opens the door because Isaac can't open it. It says it's sealed, so he just pulls it open as though it's made of blancmange. I must admit, it looks rubbish. It doesn't look very good. She just pulls it open. It's just all squishy and bendy, and it doesn't look like she's opening a huge metal door. But never mind, it's okay. So they get inside, and Charlie's tracking the where the device is. He says, it's 900 meters. They mentioned that a few times, at least twice in this episode. So and so is 900 meters away. Don't know what the significance of 900 meters is. So they head deeper into the base, the facility. For some reason, she's there. Is it? I forgot her name now. Osaya, whatever the hell her name is. The leader of Krill. For some reason, she's there. Shouldn't she be on Krill doing leading things? But she's there, and she's looking at. There we go. They've got a huge quantum core, beryllium sphere, as we call them in Galaxy Quest. They've got a huge quantum core to power the device. Obviously, being this big, it could send this wave over thousands of light years. It must be like quantum, because it must be like subspace and affect things thousands of light years away, more or less instantly. They don't explain it. They don't need it. It's techno-babble in it. So this is the scientist that Bortas mentioned. Is basically, he's done a sterling job. He's got it all working. They haven't told us how we got it working, because they were saying that only Isaac and Charlie can get the device to work. because that's how they designed it. But no time at all, he's got it working, got it hooked up to this huge quantum core. He must be good. He must be really good. Anyway, they find out that the facility has been breached because our team has already been in a gunfight with some guards. This chap comes in and says the facility has been breached, so she decides she's going to see to it personally. I don't know why, but yeah, she does. So she says, by the time I get back, I expect every Kalon to be dead. So he starts a countdown. He activates the device and it starts basically a countdown. I resisted the urge to sing the final countdown by Europe and go da-da-da-da. I just did. Never mind. Meanwhile, up above, Gordon and the other Pterodon pilots, John, for some reason. Why is John there? I don't know. They decide to do a Death Star run on the facility because the detector power surge, the device is activating. Well, the quantum core or whatever the hell it is powering up. So they're gonna swoop down and try and take it out. A trench run. This is our team in the base having gunfights with guards because we've got all these pillars, to provide coverage. We saw these in the episode with Taupe, didn't we? Where they rescued Taupe. So obviously it's just a redress of those corridors, those Moklan corridors. Right, so they're coming down. Pew! We're going to attack the facility, but they don't. It doesn't work out. Who's that? I think that's is that a Krill fighter? Gonna blow up. There we go. There we go. Very cool. I must admit, some of the effects in this episode are not very good. I don't know if they're unfinished or what, but I'm guessing it's CG. They used to in the Orville. I think in the first 2 seasons. I know in the first season, they used models, ship models, enhanced with CG and stuff. But I'm sure in this season it's all CG, and some of it looks a bit unfinished. There's motion blur that's not added, and it doesn't look good, I must admit. That looks not bad, but in some of the shots it doesn't look great. Right, so Kelly ends up in a fight with Osaya. I'm saying that, I don't even know if that's a name. I just saw it on the list because I can't remember. I'm old, that's in my name, that old Yorkshire geek, I forget things. So she ends up in a fight with her. She's got separated, by the way. Tala's gone off with, Charlie and Isaac went off to find the device, and Tala's gone off to meet, and I don't know. But, so these two have a fight. The fighters are still doing the stuff there. The weapon's still charging. Device, sorry. Keep on device, don't call it a weapon. Anyway, so Charlie and Isaac and I forgot they were there. Kalon Primary, they arrive. Tell him to turn off the device, and he says he can't turn it off, can't stop the countdown. So Isaac and Charlie, they try to do it. The other Moklans, not the lead scientist, but the other Moklans, try and make a run for it. The Kalon Primary kills them all. I'll probably miss it. You know what I'm like. Whatever. Anyway, he kills them all. This is Kelly and her still fighting, and for an alien, she's still kind of, I don't know, there's something about her, isn't there? Maybe it's just me that's weird, but she's kind of dishy. I'm weird. Anyway, Charlie, she decides, that they find out they can't really turn off this machine, but she tries. She says, "Well, I'm going to do it 4-dimensionally." Because remember, she's got this ability to see things in multiple dimensions, and I don't know, but she's going to use that. There we go. That scientist he pulls a gun out and he's going to shoot Charlie, but Isaac shoots the gun out of his hand. Don't kill him. The Moclan sort of like stares and then runs off. And the Kalon Primary says, "Why didn't you terminate him?" or whatever. So why didn't you terminate him? And Isaac says it was unnecessary. So that's another thing that given the Kalon Primary to think about. You don't always have to kill somebody. They're still fighting. They've been at it for ages. They're going for the Rowdy Roddy Piper. They live fight record length. You know what? I genuinely cannot remember what happens in that fight. I can't remember. And obviously Kelly comes out of it on top. There we go. I'm going to have to watch this bit again. So she's reaching for that knife. And she says something. Oh, there we go. Tala knocks her out. There we go. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Yes, I do remember now, yes. Because I think, does she die? But no, she doesn't. She doesn't die. Anyway, they find out that there's no way they can stop this device from activating. So Charlie says, well, they're going to have to overload the quantum core, but she needs to stay there. And she tells all the others to go. And they're saying, oh, no, I can't, blah, 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 I can't do that. So Charlie says, well, I've got to stay here, and I've got to make sure this happens. And so they all get away, and they tell all the fleet to move to a safe distance. And there we go. The quantum core explodes. And Charlie Burke is no more. She says, I'm coming, Amanda. Which were a friend that were killed by the Kalon. So there we go. Hang on. See, it's all blowing up on this facility. It's pretty destructive. Look at that. Obviously, the Kalon and the Union fleet get away. I don't know why the Krill and Moclan fleet didn't get out of there, but never mind. So that's that. That's the end of Ensign Charlie Burke, which is quite sad. She didn't last long, did she? 9 episodes. But never mind. And then they get obviously at this point they don't know that that the rest of the team have escaped, and then I think it's a Krill shuttle hails them, and it's the team. Oh, there we go. The team that come on board, and they've got that Osaya, that Chancellor. They've got her as a prisoner, I suppose. And basically that we're at pretty much the end of the episode. Obviously, other things there's housekeeping to do. The Kalon see that the error of their ways, basically. They put the Krill Chancellor in the brig, so she's there behind a force field, and Ed says he's willing to take his daughter and raise her and look after her, and she's not willing to give up her daughter, not because she loves her daughter. She says, yeah, all right, you can have her as long as you free me. So he says, you're despicable. So that ain't happening. Right, so back on Earth, the Union, that's the Admiral Kelly, who don't ask a character name. in a meeting with the Kalon primary, and what happens? See, last episode they booted out the Mocklans just like that, and in this episode they're embracing the Kalon as kind of not temperate. What's the word? They're going to let the Kalon join the Planetary Union, but not as like full members straight away. It's like, acting members of the Union or whatever. I can't remember the phrase that they use. There's Bruce Boxleitner as the president. So there you go. So the Kalon are now our allies and the part of the Planetary Union. So that's the end of the Kalon War, I suppose. So, and everybody lives happily ever after. But I presume the Krill and Mocklans are still going to have their alliance. Maybe the final episode next week is going to cover that. Here we are. We're at Charlie's. We're at Charlie's memorial service. And I know she died saving everybody, and hers was, the most important death. But a lot of people died in that big battle. There were a lot of ships got blown up and destroyed, and but there's no mention of them. Just the main the main cast deaths get a mention, which is a bit of a bugbear of mine for this season of the Orville. A lot of people die, nobody gives a toss, but they give a toss about Charlie Burke. And anyway, Isaac says some words, and everybody's all sad and stuff, and that's about it really. Well, everybody's sad. Charlie's gone, but is she? It's science fiction. You never know, do you? And then that's the end of the episode. It ends on a shot of Ann Winters as Charlie Burke. There we go. That's the end. That's the end of the episode, and it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was the best, but it was good. It was a good episode. It was action packed. We had big space battles and stuff. I forgot what next week's episode's called. I've looked it up before, haven't I? Next week's episode's called Future Unknown. So we're going to see the return of Charlie Burke. I don't know. Is she dead forever? I don't know. Or is it going to be something totally new? I presume it's going to end on a cliffhanger. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But this week's episode, Domino, was a pretty good episode. Great action. Some parts of it I wasn't sure about. Like, why is John in a fighter and not, looking after the Orville as he's supposed to do? He's a chief engineer, for God's sake, not a fighter pilot. Why is the Chancellor of Krill on the front line, overseeing this weapon? She thinks she's the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, doesn't she? I think that's what it is. But never mind. But apart from that, a good episode, quite poignant in places. Obviously, Charlie sacrifices herself. That's what brings the Kalon to the negotiating table. Charlie's sacrifice. A woman that hated the Kalon. She gave her own life to save them, the people she hated, and that befuddles them. It's usually binary decisions for them, because the machines aren't the yes or no, black and white, no shades of grey, and now it's given them something to think about, and they've come to the negotiating table, and now they are de facto members of the Union. So I don't know if the final episode will have something to do with the Krill-Moclan alliance, and its threat to the Union or what. I don't know. I mean, they've got the Krill Chancellor in custody, haven't they? So is that going to play a part? I don't know. But anyway, so we'll leave it there. So a good episode. I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. That's it. Good action. Some good character moments. And obviously, a big sacrifice at the end. Some of the CG wasn't up to snuff, but, you can't have everything. But you can in this day and age. Anyway. So, one more episode to go. Future Unknown next week. We'll see what that's like. I wonder how long that one's going to be. I bet it's over an hour and a half. I bet it's over 90 minutes. Bet you what it is. And I bet it ends on a cliffhanger. But we shall see. So, we'll leave it there. So, wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.